else in the audience seemed to enjoy their warming up the stage, and they were making inside jokes saying like, "Oh,
French Open in the third round. It's her earliest loss at a major tournament in 5 years. 20-year-old American Sophia Kennan beat Williams 6-2, 7-5.
Really? They're making fun of the people that are paying them? They gave them a break? Wasn't making fun of it, was just...
The co-chairman at J.P. Morgan warned that a deep correction like 40% could hit the stock market at any time. Gold is 40%. Diversify.
Well, that's
Friends
cool,
at
then.
Noble Gold Investments can help add gold or silver to your IRA or 401k rollover accounts.
The stock market has been dipping the last few weeks with all the China trade negotiations. Don't risk your investment. Listen to John Gibson and protect your portfolio with solid investments like gold and silver. Don't miss out. Get the free investment guide now. Dial pound 250 now and say Noble Gold 10. Just dial pound 250 on your cell phone and say the word Noble Gold 10 to be connected now and get the free investment guide, or go to noblegoldinvestments.com. Individual results may vary. Invest wisely. Get the free investment guide now. Dial pound 250 on your phone now and say Noble Gold 10. Take John's advice and protect your portfolio. Dial pound 250 on your phone now and say Noble Gold 10.
FM Talk 106.5, the Gulf Coast Weather Authority, and Dr. Bill Williams. The Gulf Coast expects sunny skies today. Will be hot with temperatures in the mid-90s this afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy.
Yeah, I know it's backwards.
70s.
Blackberry honey butter from Rennie's Honey Butter. We're going to try on the fire.
Meteorologist Dr. Bill Williams for FM Talk 106.5. FM Talk 106.5, the Gulf Coast Weather Authority. Whether you're in search of a great new bottle of wine or you want a rundown of the best brunch spots in the area, Mike and Stu have the answer. With a combined half-century in the industry, they bring their wealth of experience to bring you the latest trends, expert opinions, and interviews with people in the know. They are the dynamic duo of dining.
It's a wine and food show, Stu. It's a food and wine show, trust me.
Space shuttle taking off.
It's wine and food. Because chew rhymes with stew. That's the only reason. Glorified, fry cook, grape killer.
We lost the volume in this
Time
one.
to
Just
sip
turn
and
that down.
chew with Mike and Stu on FM Talk 106.5.
Mike's are hot.
Don't make that joke.
Say what?
Don't make the, I love it when Charlie says that.
Oh, yeah,
No one
that's
knows
kind of-
what he said.
That's right, and I'm not
He doesn't
telling.
say that on the air.
I know.
I'm
Okay.
not
You're
telling.
not the hot
Well,
mic.
well,
Lou probably thinks you're the hot mic. So let's just go ahead and,
let's leave it at that.
first thing we need to get out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to my exploding stove in a second.
Okay.
If you did not see, Leah Chase passed away yesterday.
That's so sad. I saw that late last night.
No, not unfortunate, but not sad. 96 years old.
That's how
And
Lou's
she
mom
had-
is.
And had an incredible life.
Oh my God, yeah.
And
Great humanitarian.
yeah, great woman. And Charlie, in case you don't know, there's a restaurant in the, I believe it's in the 9th Ward, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, called Dookie Chase's.
I've actually heard the name, but I don't know anything about
One
it.
of the best soul food kitchens ever invented, and has been. It's one of the places that defined soul food.
In New
and-
Orleans.
Right.
I mean, it's in New Orleans.
Right.
Yeah.
And Leah Chase took it over when she was, I believe, either 17 or 18 years old.
Wow.
She passed away yesterday at 96.
Mm.
She's been running the restaurant since then.
80 years.
And she
70
was
years.
the inspiration. A lot of people don't know this. She was the inspiration for the princess in Disney's The Princess and the Frog, where it was a young girl in New Orleans who took over a restaurant when she was a teenager. And they
Wow.
based that on Leah Chase's life. And
It's like a doctor told me that retiring is not good for your health.
and you know, up until I guess yesterday, Leah showed up every morning at the restaurant and made the biscuits still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her granddaughter's been running it, I believe, for about 20 years
Well,
or so.
I first learned about her after Katrina, because her family went in there and got the restaurant back open.
Here's the other thing, not just her family. Bobby Flay, Mario
Yes.
Bacaladi, all these chefs in New York had such reverence for her that they took off themselves and went down and helped her restore that.
Absolutely.
And then the same with Willie Mae Scotch House, which is the other really legendary soul food restaurant in New Orleans.
And guess what? She wasn't worried about making money. She was worried about feeding her people.
Right.
And she got in there and she got open after Katrina, and she started helping, feeding people.
Yeah.
As did a lot of celebrity chefs, and a lot of people in general.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, but this is one of those cases where Food Network didn't make a big deal out of it because the chefs wouldn't let them. This isn't for publicity. We're going down to help
This
Leah.
is not to be commercialized.
And I was lucky enough, a good friend of mine was in town promoting her book. And we should have her on sometime. But the book is called Meanwhile, Back at Cafe Du Monde. And this lady is a world traveler. No matter where in the world they would be sitting there and go, but meanwhile, back at Cafe Du Monde, you know, as a little joke.
Right.
She named it, and it was a collection. She would do live shows all over the country.
Yeah.
And in restaurants where the chefs would come up and just tell stories while they were eating. And it was a collection of those stories.
Wow.
And one of the stories was Leah Chase. And the recipe that she included in it was shrimp clementine, which Leah Chase invented. It's a classic New Orleans dish now. And I was lucky enough to go on air with her to support it by doing the cooking. She talked about the book, and I was able to actually cook Leah Chase's handwritten recipe
That's awesome.
for shrimp clementine on Studio 10 one time.
Woo.
And it's a great dish. Ran it for a special that day. It was back at the old Little House Midtown days.
Oh, yeah.
And that was my lunch special.
A couple of
that
good
day.
chefs came to that place.
Couple few. Wesley Nevin. That's where Wes
Yeah.
Nevin and I
Who
met.
else?
John Gibson.
There you go.
Yeah, and then Mark.
I miss
and
John.
Cherish Jessica, who is a Patty Clark caliber pastry chef,
Yeah.
and also you want some good New Orleans cooking. That woman will cook the pants off of me and Carl Tilley any day, and that's saying something because Carl.
I don't know if I want to see that.
Yeah, you don't.
I had a mental
I
image
have.
there for a moment.
My mental image was real of a fire alarm in college, and Carl doesn't like the story, so I'm not going to go any further with it.
Well, who pulled the handle?
And if Carl knew, they wouldn't be here right now.
I have so many jokes just pop through my head,
Just
but we're
save
a
'em.
family kind of
Just save
show
'em.
here.
So-
There's a rumor to that effect.
I was getting ready doing my show prep this morning.
Yeah.
Trying to make some tea.
Some
And
pay.
there was an explosion in the house.
Oh, no.
And I go into the kitchen, and the glass top stove is shattered. My garbage can is on fire, and the stove is on fire.
What a way to
Jesus.
start the morning.
Yeah. And so I put the fire out, get everything settled down, turn the burners off. And I'm just like, I just bought this and it's ruined. You know?
So it was the stove itself that blew
Yeah,
up?
the stove blew up. So I go Google to see how hard this is to fix first. All the instruction videos are 7.5 minutes, so I'm thinking it takes maybe a half an hour. So that's cool. I can see new glass top stove setups for about $150. I can live with that. You know, that's what I paid for the whole stove use, so I'm good. And then I just type in glass top stove exploding. Turns out this happens a lot. A lot. These things blow up a
I've only
lot.
heard about it a few times. I've never
Yeah.
heard that. I didn't know
I'd
that.
never heard of it before. I was guaranteed it was not something that happened, but it happens a lot. And it's usually not operator error.
Now, was this part of an entire stove, or was it just
Just
one
the
of those
top.
you put on the cabinet?
Yeah, no,
Desktop?
it's a
The
glass
top.
top stove is the ones that are completely flat across the bottom and the burners are under a piece of glass.
Right,
Yeah.
but it's not a stove
The
underneath.
coils, aren't
No.
the coils kind of built
Yeah,
into?
yeah, the oven's fine.
Oh,
The
okay.
stovetop is the only thing that's messed up. Well, you know, this happens a frightening number of times, I'm finding out, that these things just blow through no operator error. That, however, was not the case this time. I take 98% of the blame for this. Yeah. The first part of the blame was I turned on the rear knob when I meant to turn on the front knob. That's 98% my fault. The other 2% is every stove manufactured in America should have the front knob on the left, the rear knob on the right, and they should never change that configuration. And I've been in restaurants where they had to replace one stove, and you've got 4 burners, that are set up one way and 4 that are set up the other one, and you're going to have a fire that way.
Yeah.
It is left front, because they both end with a T.
I'm trying to picture that.
Right rear, because they both start with an R.
That's what
This-
mine's
right.
not a glass
Right.
top, but
Right.
Mine is set up that way.
Right. But, and so was the burnt cooktop at the restaurant that I cooked 100 things on last night with that configuration, which is why I got it backwards.
My glass top at home, there's 4 burners, and the 4 knobs correspond to the position of the burners. So top left knob is top, back left
Right,
burner.
yours are offset, not like 4 in a row.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
square.
see, that throws a whole other picture
Yeah.
to it. But, you know, that's a design thing that you decide on because you like the way it looks and like that. But, anyway, so that was 98% my fault.
What a way to
They
start
should-
the morning.
Yeah, there should be a uniform setup for
Can you
this.
use the rest of the other eyes?
No, it's gone. The
That's
whole thing is shattered. I have to get a whole new stovetop. The other one is 100% my fault. Don't set aerosol cans on burners, y'all.
What?
We don't use the back left burner because it's one of those where it can either be a 6-inch or a 9-inch, and neither one of those adjustments works well. So I don't
Okay.
use it.
Okay.
It's a useless burner to me.
So you
And
got
that's-
an aerosol can?
Yeah, that's where the can for the
That's why
cooking spray.
That's why.
Yes.
I
And-
don't leave aerosol
Yeah.
on my stove, but
And I was in a hurry trying to do a bunch of things, and I did not pay the attention that I
it's
should
100%
have.
your fault.
No, it's 98% my fault.
So
If
it's
those knobs had been
99%.
in the right place, I'd have tea right now and not a busted stove.
That's right. How are you gonna make it with it? Hey, we got tea in the back.
But I do know that my firewall behind my stove works.
Works, okay.
Okay, and
Well-
it's a fire retardant
Mine-
cardboard. Yeah.
I didn't have that bad a problem at my house. My handle came off my microwave. I went to get something out of the microwave, the handle goes, whoop. So I gotta call my landlord tomorrow. I need a new microwave anyway, so.
And that brings up a wonderful point. Anyone that tells you it is better to own a home than to rent is crazy. There's no equity at the end of that. If you would have gotten a part-time job at minimum wage for those 30 years, you'd have more money in the bank than the equity. Glad I inherited my
I'll keep
house,
that
'cause
in
it's
mind
awful.
for the next 30 years.
Yeah.
3430106, you can text us there. Be sure to get out there and vote for us. It's Best DJs.
Last day to
on the
vote.
Nappies.
Chicken, ice cream, fish. I like ice cream. What's this? This is juice. This is juice.
Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh.
I like chicken. I like fish. I like
You
ice
told them,
cream.
we've got 2
What's
versions of this. We got one with the kids singing.
Oh, it's they trade off on
I
it. It's the same one, I
don't
think.
like
They come back and sing it now.
In the Old West,
Except this one cut off half a syllable early and sound like I don't like
a
to.
duel, just one-on-one. At Butch Cassidy's, we believe it should be that way again. Just you and our soon-to-be famous Butch Burger. Piled high with bacon, cheese, lettuce, tomato, onion, and pickles. Or just the way you like it. It's time
Sure,
for
we
the
got a
showdown.
call-in guest coming
Yeah.
up.
Butch Cassidy's,
Oh, okay.
Old Shell in North Florida Street.
Do some honey butter when we get back. Talk about Bob's.
Kayak fishing is the perfect way to get on the water fast and easy.
Bob,
Most
giving you
kayaks
some
float
money,
between
I hope?
6 inches of
Working
water
on it. We're-
up to
I've got
50
everything on hold
You
right
can
now.
pack all your gear, put in almost
I'm
anywhere, and
talking
have all
to,
you need, and still
Mobile
have room for
Appliance-
your
Mobile
catch.
Appliance.
These
They're
personal
right
water
over
rafts
there.
get you to
No,
places where
Mobile
regular
Appliance.
boats can't.
They
Get
are
right
up
up
and
under
coming.
that tree
Oh,
or
okay.
protected cove
That's cool.
where you
I
can
was gonna
see
call
the
it
fish,
Chavis,
but you couldn't
but
get
then
before.
Mobile
You can take it
Appliance
to
just
deep
moved
water
in next
or
door
ride
to
the
Bay
surf.
Paper Company.
Yellowhammer
They've
Fishing
grown
Indoor has
from that little
kayaks,
old building out there on
outboards,
Shoulders
every
to
accessory
a
you
huge
want for a
warehouse.
fun,
Oh, was that the
successful
one
day
that
of
was next to
fishing or
Crooked?
paddling. Yellowhammer Fishing is Mobile's only
Okay.
local
I don't know.
kayak
They
and
may have a
accessory
little store,
dealer
they got a
with
store
names
across
like
the bay.
Kakoo,
Okay.
Riptide,
But they're up and
Vine,
coming. I'm
as
talking
well
to
as
them
sea
right
tug
now.
carts,
So we
kayak
get them.
trailers,
Maybe
jet
they
ski
can provide
trailers,
us a
and a whole
kitchen.
lot more. Listen, if you're not
Um,
fishing from a kayak, you should
Rennie
be.
Bradner's,
Yellowhammer Fishing
did
Kayaks
his
is now in
Travis on
Theodore,
there.
next door to Hood's. They'll get you on the
I
water
thought I'd
and
mention
catching
when you
fish
heard-
today.
when I heard
Visit
Travis.
Yellowhammer Fishing on Facebook. Search
But Mobile
Yellowhammer
Appliance, they're
Fishing
like the
Kayaks.
store
Are you looking for
buy
senior
your
care
home
for your
kitchen
mom or
stuff.
dad but
Yeah.
don't know where to
They might
start?
give you a soap
Hi, I'm Joan Lennon with the Place for Mom. Nobody knows your parent or loved one better than you, and nobody knows senior living better than the experts at A Place for Mom. They've helped
I'll also
thousands of
tell you a
families
good
find the
potential
right place for
sponsor
their
if I
mom
can
or
think of the
dad.
name of it. I think
was
it's
so
called
glad that I
A1
called A Place for Mom. My
Yeah,
up
advisor
on
really
Spring Hill
listened
Avenue.
and was
So if
truly
you
my
got a
partner in
dishwasher
finding
rack
senior
you need
care
to
for my dad.
replace,
She went
or
all the way to get
or
to
a
know
dish
him
in your
person, and was
microwave or
always
any
there
of
whenever I had a
that,
question.
they either
The senior
have it or
living
they can get
advisors
it
at
for
A
you
Place
real
for
quick.
Mom partner with thousands of families every
And
month,
that, you know,
listening and offering
kitchen
local
repair
knowledge and
project,
advice
that
to help find the best
does
senior
really
living
come in
communities
handy.
across the country.
Yeah, we'll
And
talk
it's a
about
free
Bob when we come
service.
back.
Here's the number.
Call
And I've got him lined up as one of our
1-800-316-0266.
planners today,
There's a place
too.
for answers, a place for mom. Call today.
Call A Place for Mom at 1-800-316-0266. That's
Every day, she said.
1-800-316-0266.
It's the Prep Sports Report presented by
Yeah,
Alpha.
3 different
live from
devices.
the Eastern
Flashing lights.
Toyota and Hyundai Studio Saturday mornings at 8. Brought to you in part by Blue Grows KJ Grill, Freedom Phillips at Thursday Mall, and Parker Dental for orthodontics.
Hi, this is Coach Rick
Do you?
Cleveland. Join me,
Okay, that's
Mark
what I use when you're
Lester,
out of
and
town.
Corey LaBounty
Well,
on
we were
Prep
going
Sports
through,
Report 52 weeks a year as we discuss
Go
topics
into
of
brother
interest,
stuff
including
yesterday.
interviews with players, coaches, and administrators.
It's the Prep Sports Report
Yeah,
Saturday
I've got
mornings
one of
at
those
8
with
on
an
FM Talk
adapter.
106.5.
Here we go.
To get on the line, call 343-0106. Now back to Mike and Stu.
This is Billy Stitt with Billy Small Batch Bacon, and I'm here from Old 27
Hi,
Grill. Sip and chew with Mike and Stu.
Hey, some Billy's bacon would go really good with it.
And speaking of Billy, please everybody keep his wife and his family in your prayers. She's battling that C word, and which they're not alone. You know, Pete Bloom and his wife have been battling. But hey,
battling the women.
I want to know. Some people say they are born with a silver spoon in their mouth, but Stu Reb Donald.
It's plastic.
My mom stole
It's
the one
faux.
out of my mouth and sold it.
It's faux gold. It's faux gold.
It's faux gold.
I actually have a ton of these that were
Yeah.
left over from a wedding catering, where
It's a
the bride and
beautiful
groom had.
spoon.
It's plastic. It's
Yeah.
disposable. The bride and groom went with a white and gold theme and got a bunch of these gold plastic forks and spoons and everything, and we had them left over, and we're like, well, these are beautiful. You want us to pack them up? And, oh, y'all can have them. And I just went, well, there's 100 spoons I don't have to buy.
There you go.
So I got a Ziploc bag full of these gold plastic spoons. They are beautiful. They look like a real spoon.
I thought it was.
Can you get this brand, man? You know, I don't know. There's
By the way, can the Facebook folks see what you have on your plate there? Is the camera in the...
Look, it's a plate full of plain bread.
It looks like mold on the side.
It
What is
doesn't
that?
look
Flour?
like plain bread.
Yeah, it's
flour?
plain. This is real bread, Mike. It's multi-grain. There's wheat germ. It's good for you, and it's delicious. And let me say,
It's got roughage in it.
yeah, it has been a particular bone of mine. I pay attention to what's in bread.
Yeah.
And there is a major brand out there that has this heart healthy stamped on the side of their bag, catering to diabetics, and it is the least healthy bread on the market. They use high fructose corn syrup and hydrogenated oil to make it the two worst things you can put in bread or anything else you're eating.
And probably diabetes.
And then stamp it with heart health on it. Your body cannot metabolize either one of those, so it saves every bit of it as fat.
How about butter bread?
And
I don't
but
know.
This is just some Nature's Own, but
Is that the brand name, Nature's Own?
yeah, Nature's Own. It's a very trustworthy company. Like I say, Arnold's is another good one. If you've seen Arnold's in the grocery store,
Yeah, I've
that's
seen that.
very healthy, and delicious, really good. But what I've got in my hand here, Michael.
Oh, that's what I've been looking at.
Here, you got the cap. Why don't you
Okay.
do some reading while I
Blackberry.
manage
Rennie's honey butter.
Rennie's. We just had
Rennie's. I'm sorry, Rennie's honey butter.
Yeah. Remember Irene? That's what the Rennie is from. Her middle name is Irene, and her sister calls her Rennie. Yeah.
So you're spreading some of this. Now, from this distance, it has kind of the color of a yogurt, but it's not a yogurt, I
No,
think.
it's butter with honey and blackberries in it.
Wow.
And, you know, she had gotten a bunch of blackberries, picked a bunch. She was in the show a couple of weeks ago. And I'm going to let you and Charlie slop on this half right here, on that slice. You tear it up any way you want. You want a pocket knife?
Tear it in half and...
Just tear it in half. And
Oh, I gotta do that for you too? You can't do anything, Mike?
Well, you got the spoon.
And probably the clean hands.
Lou, you are a patient woman. Do you have to cut a spaghetti for him?
I'm a patient man.
I'm glad you said cut spaghetti. That's the only way I can eat it.
Mike, there's
I
a
can't
difference
twirl it.
between patient and unmotivated. Sitting in front of the TV all day long watching football on
Here,
Saturday
give me one,
does not
Charlie.
mean you're patient.
All right.
It means you're invested.
Is that what it is? I'm invested.
Invested.
Oh, and what a nice smell.
Mm-hmm. There's a wonderful aroma to it. I will tell you this because Heather and I have been experimenting with it on bagels and whatnot all week.
We need to chew further back from the mic.
Yeah, let it. If keeping it refrigerated is
Yum,
really
yum,
because
yum.
it is a butter. It's a real butter.
Mm-hmm.
It's stiff, so let it sit out. I pulled this out before I got here, so it's softened up in the hour or so.
Butter and honey and blackberries.
Mm-hmm. She
That
had
is
just
really nice.
Yep. And the guys that were in here last week with Mad Dog. Did you try their sauce yet, Mike?
Not yet.
It's perfect.
And we like
perfect.
I have some wings at home waiting on it.
It had a little kick to it.
A little, not much.
Yeah.
Mad
Dog was
and I sent him an email and I said, if I were going to make a sauce from scratch myself, this is the sauce I wish I made.
Where can you get Reenies?
Well, she left these for me at Cheese Cottage, so I know you can get them at Cheese Cottage, but at Old Shell Market.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Old Shell Market. I've seen them in a bunch of other places too.
Mm-hmm.
It's got real seeds in it too.
Yeah, it's black.
Well, that and plus the seeds in the bread, but
yeah.
And see, I love bread like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you something else I like about this. It's not as, I want to use the word intrusive as a regular jelly or a jam would be. It's very light.
It's not cloyingly sweet.
Yeah.
Like jellies and jams tend to.
Right.
And it doesn't vary the flavor of the blackberries.
And I better make sure to save some of this for Mr. Phil back there.
You know, I love
Little
bread
baby
like
ducks.
that. Bread like that.
If he doesn't get a slice of that, he's
And
going to cut off the phones.
And when I went to France, we had bread and butter everywhere we went.
Mm-hmm. Heather would be in.
Oh my God, the butter's so sweet, but this is delicious.
That's one of the things I want to thank Heather for is reminding me of the sheer pleasure of good butter and a nice piece of bread, not toasted or anything.
Yeah.
She has reminded me of that, and when we
tear it.
Her favorite display at World Food Championships was the challenge butter, because the lady was just sitting there putting sea salt challenge butter on a piece of bread, and she it was like the perfect buffet.
That's what I did.
All right, Stu, for those people who would like to duplicate what we have just enjoyed,
get a loaf of bread and some Rennie's honey butter.
Rennie's honey butter.
Honey butter.
R-E.
It's like Irene.
RENEY''S.
Okay, and Old Shell Market's where you can get what kind of
Yeah,
bread
and you
was
can
that
also
again?
go to Renie'sHoneyButter.com, and the bread is just nature's own.
And I'm sure her Facebook page will tell you where you can buy this.
Oh yeah, yeah. We shared it on, and I'll share it again. She was nice enough to leave this for us at Cheese Cottage, and I want to make sure that we tried it on air. And I think Mike's happy that we tried it on air.
Hey, can I do one thing real quick?
Sure.
I just want to talk about, or maybe possibly reveal, a deep, dark secret.
You ate it someplace without ferns.
No, there's a rumor going around that today is Discover Mobile Day. And I just wonder, because obviously the city did nothing to
Look, Mike, I
publicize
just
it.
discovered Mobile. It's right outside the window.
I wondered where it was
Is that it? Oh, well, that parking lot's not too impressive. But it was something about free admission to museums today. If anybody knows, please call us, 343-0106, and share the good news.
Yeah, just let Phil know. And
I tried to Google it, and it said your Discovery Card app, mobile app. And I'm thinking, no, I didn't Google it right.
No.
But, so yeah, there's some Rennie's. Man,
Well, I just
we got
discovered
somebody-
some Rennie's honey butter blackberry. You got it all in your mustache.
Now, is there-
Saving that for later.
I guess she has other flavors.
Yeah, in fact, we've got the strawberry and the cinnamon at home.
Wow.
And I think last night Heather made a piece of toast, put the cinnamon honey butter over it, and then sprinkled cinnamon sugar on top of that.
I like cinnamon on oatmeal.
You know who we got coming up when we come back from break?
Who's that?
You know this guy. Wade Price from Serial Killers?
I'm gonna tell you what, I've eaten there. Yeah.
You were supposed to wait on me so we could go together, but you just couldn't.
You don't ever wait on me.
Well, you don't ever come to Sims. And I'm calling you out, Andy McDonald.
I gotta discover Sims.
I'm calling Andy McDonald out.
What's that?
We got two great places. Brick Pit, or Hickory Pit, they're in Sims. Hickory Pit 2. And Sims House of Pizza that do something, food that nobody else is doing in Mobile, Baldwin County. Andy, you need to go to Sims. Come on out, bring your guitar. I'll grab my ukulele. We'll jam out of both of these places, buddy.
You need
A
to bring that ukulele
28-inch pizza.
Oh, big?
28
Are you
inch.
kidding me?
Oh, God.
Yeah, 28. Think about it. The tire on your car is 16 inch. That used to be the large at Domino's and Pizza Hut. They went to 14 inch years ago. 14 inch is a small at Sims House of Pizza.
Wow.
What everybody else is selling is large. The medium is an 18 inch, which is bigger than any large on the market.
Did you have a 28 inch, Mike?
In one sitting, no problem.
I usually just eat like one slice of pizza, believe it or not.
We actually sell that one by the slice.
Oh, cool.
In Sims, you can get 28-inch single slice of pizza.
Is that on Highway 98?
No, it's on Snow Road, across from Mary Montgomery High School.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but calling you out, Andy McDonald, and I forgot Hickory Pit fried chicken skin as an appetizer. A big basket of fried chicken skin.
Oh, Lord.
You got to get out there, Andy. Sims has got
I
it
gotta
for
get
you.
out there.
We coming back?
Oh yeah, when we
Eventually,
come
yeah.
back, we're gonna have Wade Price from Serial Killers.
Bill, come get some food.
You want to talk to him during the break? Is that a yes or no?
Thank you, sir. Make me feel fine.
Here, take that. You can lick the rest of the butter off of it.
This information
You want to talk to
That
him
knife,
during
would
the
you
break?
stick it back in that butter?
bringing
Y'all want to talk to him during the break?
is maximizing your value.
You don't need to.
Online,
man.
visit tworld.com/mobile.
That way you can hear what's happening.
FM Talk 106.5.
Well, I didn't see a single line light up, so we may not know. We may not be able to officially confirm.
Sunny skies today will be hot with temperatures in the mid-90s
Somebody may
this
send us a
afternoon.
text on it, too.
Well, I'm doing that mainly because I want to chide whoever the hell in the city's supposed to be handling
Highs in the
publicity.
mid-90s.
Sometimes you go to their website, there's stuff on there that's a year old.
If it's the chamber,
FM Talk 106.5.
Yeah,
the
that's
Gulf
another
Coast
one.
Weather Authority.
This is Royal Sherry from McSherry's Irish Pub.
Quit
and
drawing the
Restaurant in
paycheck to
downtown
do that,
Florida.
you can actually do the damn job.
you know,
Meet
I
your
see,
mates for a
I
pint
work
and a
with these
chat,
chambers
or
in
dance
smaller
the
places
nightway
in
with our
Dolphin
DJ on
Island,
Friday and
shores,
Saturday
internet.
night starting at 10.
All
Try a
of them
brilliant brownie
work on
burger,
camps.
unforgettable Irish potato
All on
salad,
what?
homemade
They are-
bread pudding,
all of
or
them
it is
are
said
better
the
than what
best
most
Reuben
chambers
sandwich
Yeah.
this side of the
You
river
never know
Shannon.
what's going on
We open at 3
with
p.m.
Mobile
and close at 2
Well, I
a.m.
think Mobile Chamber of
Non-smoking
Commerce
inside,
has
but
just
we have a
gotten
lovely
themselves
patio
in
with
so
big screen
infringed.
TVs where you
Almost
enjoy
like a
all
little
the sporting
bureaucracy
events.
of
We
its own.
have
Plastic
an evening with a
disposable
traditional
food.
Irish music
It's
session
like
which attracts
something else
musicians
you
from
know.
New Orleans
Yep.
to Seaside, Florida. Happy hour is
Like
3
y'all
to
sell
6
stuff like that or
daily,
just
so be
paper?
sure to check
What?
out our website at
Just paper?
www.sharries.com.
We got a cookbook that you wrote. Is that what
Yeah,
that
this
is?
is her newest one. No longer Kid Chef, now it's Teen Chef book.
Okay.
And then next year she's got to change that because she'll be 20.
Do you know where these are available?
They're not yet.
Oh, okay.
These are pre-publication.
Oh, hello.
She's
I
going to be
didn't
on the
see
show
you
in a
there.
couple
I'm Bob,
weeks.
an apartment home at Legacy Oaks, and I'm so excited. My new family is coming by today to get acquainted. I just love having a family to take care of.
Because I got
A lot
some
of folks
girls
will be
in
coming
my
in and
family
out,
that
getting me ready,
would
you
be
know,
a
making
nice
sure
little
my gas
present.
fireplace and oven are ready. It's
Let me
always
see it
cozy
just
when
for a
my
second.
family
Sure.
gathers around the fireplace. I like to give my family plenty of room
They
so
sent me
everyone
one
has
to
their
my
own
house.
space.
You
But
wanna
it's
hang on to
always
that?
nice when we get together in my large eat-in kitchen. And you know, Mom's gonna love the large
Where is
bath.
she at, in
It's a
New
great
Orleans?
place to relax in a large
Yeah, but
jacuzzi
she is
garden
going to
tub.
culinary
I'll even
school in
protect
Miami
family
right
vehicles
now.
with an attached garage. And
I'm
some of my
corrected
second-floor
proof,
brothers and
not
sisters even have
persuaded.
private
Yeah.
elevators. I'm kind of secluded in a large gated community in Spring
I've
Hill
got
and DeRue Drive with
a
lots
few
of
of
green
them I've
space.
gotten like
Real
that.
convenient to
Most
shopping,
notably,
restaurants, healthcare, and minutes from I-65. There's lots more
Food
to tell you about the
2.0
amenities here at Legacy
by,
Oaks. You know, clubhouse,
Slow
swimming pool,
cooker,
Charlie
mango
Harris.
pepper
Find that out
pork.
for yourself
Yeah,
on the
that sounds
interweb
good.
at Legacy Oaks
Charlie Harris, whose
apartmenthomes.com.
nickname
Or
is
you
the
can always
Google
call
Chef,
Jimmy.
and
She's
he
real
ran
nice.
all of
And get a
Google's
tour
food
at
services.
344-8099.
Because they don't allow their
Gotta go.
employees
My new
to leave the
family's here.
campus
I
to
hope
go
to
to
see you
lunch.
soon. Hey, family.
Because they
welcome
found out
home.
when they do that, they eat greasy food to become less productive.
To get on the line, call
So they feed them for
333-0106.
free.
Now back to Mike and Stu.
Come on.
You're listening to Sip and Chew with Mike and Stu.
And I'm Jonesy Jones. You can find me on YouTube, Jonesy Jones Music. Also, Facebook, Crown Jewels.
Man, that is one tight band.
I love that band. I love her too.
They
She's so
they
sweet.
just kicked off the concert series at Dolphin Island, Sunset Concert
Yeah,
Series
they did.
this week. And then I think they're going to be headlining the end of the series, which usually runs around Reggae Week.
Right.
Is that a weekly deal on the island?
Weekly or monthly? I forget. David Calametti would be the man. So David, if you're listening, Texas, I believe that's weekly. I want to say it's weekly.
I don't know. I know the Sunset thing, I think, is monthly.
Okay. The one in Daphne is monthly. I know that, the swing band.
All right, now if you go to Key West and Governor Square, that's nightly.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So,
A little bigger
Tell me
town.
who we got, Stu.
You know, he's your buddy, Wade Price of Serial Killers. Good morning, Wade.
Good morning, Wade. How you doing this morning?
It's
Doing
fine.
great, doing great.
You're one of the few people in this industry that I don't have to apologize to about getting you up this early because you're a brunch place, so you're always up this early, right?
He's a breakfast place, man. He's, believe it or not, Wade, I have been there, and I came in incognito one day, and I had the brisket,
the banh mi,
Incognito.
and I had, well, not incognito, but it's undercover or something like that, and I had the tater tots,
The
truffle. My God, those tater tots. Me and Stu are tater tot fans.
Yeah.
And those tater tots were off the chart. They were fine, fine, fine.
Tater tot restaurant. That would be fantastic. Well, Wade, why don't you tell people where you're located? Yeah. Yeah, you're familiar with the mill, right?
Oh yeah, I do business with Bob there at Mary Ann's, and next door, your next door neighbor there. That is such a cool place. Such a cool place the mill is, and I love your little corner over there, man. Y'all got it a little tight over there, and it's so cool. Yeah. Well, yeah, when you work in a restaurant business.
Yeah.
It
Well,
is.
Mike, since you've been in the place, just real quick for the callers, just tell them what to expect from a consumer's point of view when they go into serial killer, and tell them how it's spelled too.
It's spelled like cereal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got it on
different
print, so
kinds of
you can spell it for me.
And how did y'all come up with the name, Wade? Hang on. Hey, Wade. We're having a hard time listening to hearing you.
Yeah, let me suggest something. If you're on a speakerphone, get off of the speaker because your phone is very distorted.
Can you hear me now? Oh, yeah, there you go.
Fantastic.
All right. All right. Well, explain to us how y'all come up with the name serial killer.
Honestly, it was one of those things like when we came up with the concept, the name just kind of hit me.
It's brilliant. My girlfriend and I both are just fascinated by wordplay, and so we love comedians like Bo Burnham and Dimitri Martin that will really explore words. So when we saw that, we're just like, we're gonna like it, just based off the name.
Yeah, the funny thing is, my wife, like, she's like, people in Fairhope aren't gonna like the name Wade. I don't know about this. I was like, people will like it. I promise.
It may be the most liberal city in the state of Alabama, but it's still Alabama.
Yeah.
Well,
how long have y'all been open?
We're going on our 4th month now.
Okay.
Still pretty new.
Okay. And you have a very imaginative brunch menu. He said he had a banh mi, but it's a breakfast banh mi, isn't it?
Yeah, we do our brisket banh mi. So, we braise our brisket for around 8 hours, and we do cilantro, fresh jalapenos. It's delicious.
Because I have fallen in love with the banh mi in the last couple of years. I did one World Food Championships where I mashed it up with fish escabeche from Puerto Rico because I was looking at both recipes, and the vinegar and those vegetables kind of married well. And ever since then, now I'm just trying every banh mi, and I gotta come try your brisket one because right now my reigning champ for best banh mi is the ribeye steak at Jade Flames over here. But I love brisket. So
Well,
now I've got to go this year.
Another thing that I liked about it, Wade, was the bread. Where did you get the bread from?
The bread with the banh mi, we searched all over the place. We tried like the Gambino's like local bread.
Right.
And we just kind of just a really nice like baguette, but it took us a while to find it.
Some people, I don't even think they even think about how to pair the bread.
Yeah.
We were in New Orleans a couple of weeks back, and I had the Juicy Lucy burger. It was just like at Billy Stitt's place down there at Old 27 Grill, or it's got a different name now, but the bread makes it, man. The bread makes completes it. The bread complete. It's like pairing wine with the right meal. And I just thought everything about that banh mi was perfect, dead on, as far as the way the flavor combinations just all came together.
You just mentioned a Juicy Lucy. We have on our menu. It's called the Morning Lucy.
Oh.
We do our take on it. We make a nice sausage patty. We stuff it with Tillamook cheddar.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, Tillamook is fantastic.
It's delicious. Speaking of the bread, we buy this awesome everything brioche bun from the House Bakery in downtown Fairhope.
We know Patty Clark very well.
What a great place to buy from.
Yeah.
It makes the sandwich.
And see, that's what you call, that's what you call local supporting
being
local.
local.
Yeah. You spread it around too, and not from some big food company, a bread company out of Atlanta or Nashville or somewhere. You're doing it right.
We do everything we can. We buy our eggs from J&K Farm.
Good for you.
We buy our lettuce from local websites. We work with as many cool companies and farms as we can around here.
Awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. You also have a breakfast pho, and Heather is in love with pho, so we're going to have to come over. Other than these two decidedly Southeastern Asian dishes, what else do you have on the menu?
So the goal with Serial Killer was to do things that no one else does, right? So we want to be as creative as possible. So we don't do a pho, but we do ramen.
Ramen, that's it, yeah.
So we have our ramen that we make a buttered toast broth.
And
we make our own bacon in house. So that's like a maple bacon. We do a golden egg, which is like a 6-minute egg, pickled in turmeric. Italian stuff. So it's like we have a croque madame on the menu with our twist and like fried chicken, your cheese on it. We have like the morning luchi, like I said. We're actually doing a bacon egg sandwich right now called with a Louisiana Wagyu.
Oh my gosh.
So right now, like you mentioned, our tots. We do our truffle tots, and we do our killer tots. They're smothered in our pure cheese and have smoked ham on them. We have our French toast sticks that are like covered in pretty pebbles.
Where'd you learn all this?
We like to have fun with our menu.
Where did you learn all this?
Actually, so me and my business partner, Eli, went to culinary school together at Virginia College when it was open.
Okay.
And then we ended up going and working at a whole bunch of places. Like I worked at like Noja, and I worked at Drew very briefly when that was up on Duro Drive. The Battle House Hotel. I mean, I've worked me and Eli have both worked kind of all over the place around like 10 years now.
Yeah, I'd say having Wesley True and Shockley Diggs on your resume is pretty good. Those are two very inventive chefs. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I've been lucky in our places. I've worked for some really good people, but Eli the same thing. So we try to like I'm more of the creative vision guy. Eli is the
the execution guy.
The books and all that stuff. So he kind of brings me down to earth, and I kind of
Collaboration is one of my favorite things, and when I was a musician, you did it all the time. I don't get to do it as much cooking, but do you find when you get together with other chefs that you show them, hey, we're doing this at the restaurant, they go, oh, that's fantastic, reminds me of a thing we did at this other restaurant, and then you come up with a new dish from those two in your imagination, and I just live for that kind of creative flow.
Yeah, it's my favorite thing.
Yeah, it really is. When I was at Beer Garden, I was working with a young man on day shift, and we were trying to get rid of some of the exotic beef that they had tried for a while, or exotic meats. They had elk and bison and ostrich, I believe, and it just wasn't working, so we were trying to spin it. We ended up making 100% grass-fed Swedish meatballs.
Nice.
Yeah. He had his grandparents happened to be Swedish, and he had his grandmother's Swedish meatball recipe from Sweden.
You can't go wrong with a meatball.
Yeah, exactly. And then I taught him from the Italian side. I said, you know why they're perfectly round? He goes, no, I've always wondered that. I said, they don't cook them in the oven or a skillet, they deep fry them. So it sets as soon as you drop it in the oil and keeps it round. So it's that kind of play back and forth that you and Eli have that really fuels some creative dishes. And your menu is just dripping with creativity.
That's the goal. You know, we want to bring something to Fairhope that, you know, that's completely new and different. You know, gotta stay away. There's a lot of restaurants that are doing, you know, kind of the same thing. And, you know, they do some great things, but, you know, we want to kind of break the mold a little bit.
Yeah, and I love that. All right, real quick, we've only got less than a minute, so give us your address, phone number, Facebook, Instagram,
hours,
your MySpace page, whatever you got.
Days and hours.
You can find us at 85 North Bancroft Street. If you look us up on Facebook and Instagram, we're Serial Killer Fairhope, and, you know, we're open Tuesday through Sunday, 2 to 2:30. We're also open Friday and Saturday nights, 5 to 8, and the only day we're closed is on Monday.
And you're going to be open for Art Walk, so that'd be a cool time to go.
Yeah. Sure. All right, well, we sure appreciate it, and I'm sure Heather will be making me drag her to Fairhope for some serial killers very soon. We watch your posts, and we've got to get over there.
Come on down.
And then you can come out to Sims. How's that?
That sounds great to me.
All right, thanks a lot, Wade.
Thanks for coming on, Wade. Thank you. Last day to vote, y'all.
He needs a new cell phone.
Last date. He was in a kitchen with a lot of stainless steel in the restaurant. I've heard that sound before. Heather usually calls me on her lunch break. Heather usually calls me on her lunch break. And we
What is
talk
all
the whole
this?
time, you know,
My
so
new
when
hobby,
I'm at home,
beach
not at
fishing.
work.
Had to be one
And
of
she
those
goes to that
gummy
big
wormy
public, so
thingies.
she'll
I'm not
watch.
leaving until
Of course,
I
she
catch
eats her lunch
something
most of the time.
fabulous and suitable for framing.
You don't
You'll go there
actually
and get
frame a
soup.
fish,
Yeah,
you
she's
mount
getting
the fish.
You're not the boss of me.
Let me at least put some SPF 45 on you.
I'm already covered with
Yeah,
SPF
we'll do
Jack
it.
Green.
So
Okay, I'll bite.
Like squash.
SPF is my stuff protection factor.
Yeah, I did a good
Stuff
spot to
protection.
Mars Hill one
Jack
time.
Green has been in the insurance business over 30 years, and he protects all my stuff.
Because
My
so many
luxury
people in the
vehicle,
South are like,
my
cold
new truck,
soup.
condo,
Yeah,
maybe
all
you'll
of them were
insure
cold
my
originally
cats
because
of
we
the
didn't
day.
have
I
fire.
don't think he covers fish.
Hot soup
I
is
hope
new.
something big.
It's newfangled. Don't freak
I
out.
think you hooked someone.
But the people
Oh,
who
dear.
tried it
You
love
got
it,
that
but most
liability
people
umbrella,
wouldn't
right?
try it.
You betcha.
That's good.
I think I'm gonna need
My
it. All
sister
Jack
made a
Green
cold
today.
soup,
See
and
how
my
much
father
money he
had
can
always
save
said,
you
I'll
and still
never eat a
protect all
cold
your
soup dish
stuff.
for
That's
any
the
of
Jack.
that. I just,
The Jack
Are
Green
there any
Insurance
facts up
Agency
there
in
that we
Mobile.
haven't acknowledged?
just David Hunter talking about Leah Chase.
Nappy time. That's right. You voted for all your favorite bars, restaurants, bands, media folks, and just about everything else during the nomination period of Lanyap's 17th Annual Reader's Choice Awards. We've been counting and counting, and now the counting is done. And in the new issue of Lanyap on Stands Now, we have revealed the top finalists for this year's Nappy Awards. So now through June 2nd, we need you to start voting once again to help us determine the best of the best in such exciting categories as quintessential mobility, best local comedian, and the highly coveted best food hot doctor.
This
we'll talk
year,
about
Vogue's
that
online only, so head over to VogueNappies.com and get to it. And of course, you'll find all of the usual, unusual news, commentary, cuisine, sports, and arts and entertainment coverage you've come to expect from Alabama's largest weekly newspaper.
Yeah,
So
he's
head
gonna be
to
here live.
Lanyard or head to lanyardmobile.com.
First day what, North Alabama.
What's he up there?
Because he can't see the screen. He's been working on some kind of job with the University of Alabama, developing some
Brought to you
park
by
or
a
garden or
coffee
something.
service.
I saw him fly fishing on that.
And you.
It looks just
I saw
like
somebody
Start your day
fishing with a
on
damn
FM Talk
cannon.
1065.
Oh, I saw
Frozen
that.
bait and they drop it down in there and it hooks a
I
line.
saw
on
that
it.
yesterday.
Boom. Yeah,
I saw that yesterday too.
Hey, Cam, like the hairspray.
How far they get out there? About 300 yards.
Yeah, on the other side of the damn lake.
He's hooked to a regular fishing rod,
Yeah.
but he freezes his fish. And he puts the hook in his bait. He freezes the bait in the water like a tube.
And it's a hollow plastic tube.
Pumps up the air pressure.
100 pounds.
Yeah.
FM 1065.
Yeah, you pop it through quickly.
That's the
Whatever happened to just cast?
To get on the line, call 343-0106. Now back to Mike and Stu.
This is Tony over at Bob's Downtown Restaurant. You're listening to Sip and Chew with Mike and Stu.
I'm gonna tell you what.
That Bob's is
Tell us
good.
what.
Well, I mean, they're just great people over there. He's got a great kitchen staff. The servers are phenomenal. I don't know
Get
how
those
they don't
desserts from
lose their
Coletta's
minds.
Baked Goods,
I don't know
Italian
how they
Baked
don't
Goods.
lose their minds over there. They're every one of them. Nobody just stands around except George.
Mm-hmm.
But George got a broke shoulder right now, so he can't work. So, poor George. I give him a hard time all the time. But just food's always phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not fancy, just
The
plain
service
old
is
great
great.
food.
You know, the owner's not a bad guy himself. You know, he's pretty cool.
He's philanthropic, and he's a playboy,
And let me tell you what.
and a genius,
And a genius.
but not a billionaire. So he's not Tony Stark.
But let me tell you what he does. He raises a lot of money.
Yes, he does.
He
To help
uses his
people
place.
For worthy cause.
And they do a lot of fundraising.
Thank you,
And they
Tom.
raise a lot of money. And he feeds the cops during and
Mardi Gras.
And he
You
fed
helped
some
out
of
with
the
that?
firemen.
Yeah.
Yeah, fed some of the firemen too.
Yeah.
And
Raising money for cancer research.
almost
and
every
everything.
Tuesday night, that street is blocked off, and there's some money being raised.
Excellent,
I guarantee.
excellent.
And he's selling some food, so. And he's local, and he supports local too.
He's open 7 to 2 Monday through 7 days a week.
This and
Yeah.
that. Man, that man knows him some diners, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
You know, next week we're gonna have some more local on.
Oh yeah, what we gonna have?
Chase Matthews from Playhouse Spices.
Okay.
That's the couple down in Midtown, downtown, that area.
Yeah.
Actually, they're right around the corner from the Kate Shepherd house that we stayed in for my birthday.
Mm-hmm. Off of Monterey.
Yeah.
In Monterey Place.
Yeah, right around the corner from where Heather works. So this is great. I've been tinkering with their spices. You know, I did the blackening and all that. Well, I used their Old Dolphin Way blend, and we're off the air. But we still have a live going on. Want to wave at our people on the line there?
Yeah, just keep talking. You're still on Facebook.
Gosh, going off the air. Huh?
So I blew up my stove this morning.
Oh no, what'd you do?
Turned on the wrong burner that I thought I wanted on.
And an aerosol can.
Yeah, and then
All right,
I
you're
turned
on.
on the one under
Are
the
we on?
aerosol can.
Oh no.
So I
right.
said, Trump, you kill me, man. You cannot do that. The moon does not belong to us. And
Okay, you have to clean up your conversation.
Yeah.
When it's back in the headphones,
Tell
go
me,
back on.
tell me off there.
Okay, so I tried their Old Dolphin Way blend because Heather started reading it. And one of the interesting things in it is tangerine peel or tangerine zest. And I thought, okay, I got pork ribs.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing that transcends. This thing got a little heat to it too. I had to
Yeah.
ease up on it because not everybody that was eating could handle the heat. It was fantastic as it rubbed on the ribs.
Now, what was the tangerine part?
It's a zest that's in
Okay.
this Old Dolphin Way with all the other spices.
And I'm gonna tell you too. When I use pork, I use either peaches, apricots. I don't have to try tangerine, but
Yeah.
something in that family. I love that flavor.
Well, it's stone fruits, they're nice and sweet, and pork and duck both work well with fruits because they have so much fattiness. You need that sweet and the little bit of acidity to cut through that fat. That fat at the same time keeps the sweet from being too sweet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a good play, and so that's why I wanted to use it. And then, you know, I had the little Mad Dog's sauce on the side, and everyone raved about the Mad Dog sauce and just said, it's just letter perfect.
Yeah.
To me, it is exactly what barbecue sauce should be.
Right.
It was just fantastic. You need to get into it.
Well, let me ask you.
You just did.
We're in grilling season. Are there some seasonings and spices that maybe you shouldn't put on your grilled meats until after you've almost grilled? Because doesn't the flame or the heat affect the flavor? And
I've not had any problem with that.
I wondered about
with
that
anything.
because I've seen some where they'll, and I watch a lot of shows on Create Channel, and sometimes they'll season at the end with their throw-on spices.
I will finish with a finishing salt. And that's one of those things people think, oh, well, we got to get sea salt to cook with. Well, no, sea salt's not good for cooking with. It's good for finishing with.
Yeah.
Cooking, you want kosher salt.
Right.
That goes throughout there. The sea salt is, you're really not doing it for the salt.
Yeah.
You're doing it for that little crunch that it gives you.
Well, the other day I had the best scallops I ever had in my life.
Really?
And guess what they season it with?
Sea salt?
That's all.
Yeah, at the end, probably.
That's all. And believe it, they just had Rouse's just opened their new store, and they were big oysters. I mean, they were oysters all you wanted to eat, free, and scallops and all that.
Now, see, why didn't you let me know about that?
I didn't know about it until I got there.
Oh, okay.
There was sauce. Kaneka was there, you know, doing theirs. I was looking for Patty and them. I didn't. I mean, not Patty, Deborah and them, but I didn't.
She was over there somewhere.
Yeah.
That Rouse's is carrying all the Hall sausages.
They
all
are.
of them sausages.
That's
on
great.
Dewey,
That's
the Red
great.
Hots. They got it
That's
all.
great. And she was posting about short ribs.
Yeah,
they try that.
I told you, man. USDA, only USDA wholesale vendor in Mobile County.
Dang. Got to get over there, but
It's a family show, Mike.
But
But it's not retail. You got to.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But those scallops were huge.
Yeah.
And he only seasoned them with salt, sea salt. And they were the
Yeah,
best
well,
I've ever
scallop,
had.
that would be fine.
I've always used other seasonings on sea salt, on scallops, but they were the best I've ever had.
Oh, I just pretty much just salt and maybe a little black pepper. That's all it's
Yeah, but they were great without the black pepper. And I love black pepper on everything.
Scallops are delicious, but it's very easy to overpower them. So you don't want anything that covers them up.
And he fried them in butter.
Butter, yeah, butter or olive oil, either one works. Clarified butter is what we used to do them in.
Yeah.
In most of the restaurants.
Now, explain to people what clarified butter is.
It is butter where the milk fats and the milk solids have been separated. And the solids go to the top. That's what we use to make cheese and butter and all that. And what's left is the oil, the liquid, which pretty much looks like a really thick olive oil or cooking oil. In India, it's called ghee, G-H-E-E. And the easiest way for me to do it is if you have a gas top stove, like we
That
do in
won't blow up?
restaurants. Yeah. put it in a bain marie overnight. So the water's in the bottom, put the other pan in it, put the butter in it, put the lid on it, over that pilot light, and just go to bed. When you wake up in the morning, it'll be perfectly separate.
And then you just scrape the top off?
Yeah, you just skim it off.
Can you use that for anything?
You can. I don't know what you would do it for. I'm not a cheesemaker. They probably know what to do with it. And it may be, I don't know. I don't know enough about that end of the process. But the other end that you've got is clarified butter. And that's actually what blackening should be done.
Yeah.
Is clarified butter as hot as a pan.
And what about if you take the clarified butter, can you blend it with olive oil? And
you could, but I don't know why you would want to, because it's pretty much the same consistency. Yeah, it's an oil.
Okay.
Yeah. Without the fats in it, it's not going to burn. It raises.
See, those are questions I've always had.
Yeah.
I've always had those questions.
Yeah. What makes butter burn is the milk solids that are in it. When you remove the milk solids, you're left with pretty much just an oil.
Yeah.
That has a wonderful flavor and a beautiful golden But the smoke point rises to close to extra virgin olive oil, which is also on the lower end.
Well, folks, I've learned something today. Yeah. But, Stu, we're out of time.
Yeah,
we still don't know.
We gotta go.
We got us some new cookbooks to go look at. She'll be on the show, Teen Chef Eliana.
Yes, our little girl's grown up.
Yeah, she really
But
is.
listen,
And
folks,
next week,
get out there.
Playhouse Spices.
Charlie wants you to get out there and discover Mobile, but get out here and discover all these restaurants and cool places and cool
Local,
butters and
local.
stuff that we talk about up
And
in
no
here.
ferns in the library, in the lobby.
Either one.
Either one.
As
Support local, be local, buy local.
It is a fern bookstore.
And locals support locals too.
Hey, Mike.
What? Provolone.
Provolone.
And Bill Finch is in the studio.
Oh, I can't believe it.
Get a table near the stream.
All right, y'all. Last day to vote. Last day to vote. Go vote. You gotta vote. If you don't vote, you don't have no vote done. You're like the folks in Chicago, vote several times, even if you're dead. And y'all get.